Hey, Dirt Farmer Jay here from dirtfarmerjay.com. Almost 3 years ago, we did a review on this professional grade SnapOn rechargeable flashlight. Did it live up to the hype? Hey, stay tuned and I'll tell you about it. Dirt Farmer Jay from dirtfarmerjay.com. We said when we did the review on this originally, we'd come back a year later. So here are some of the features of this. First of all, it's a regular flashlight. So if I put that on, I can blind you pretty good with that, can I? Well, it's been almost time passes, but we want to let you know whether or not this flashlight has really lived up to the hype and the expectations we had for it in that review. Now, if you want to see that review, you can just look at the link above, pause this, go over and watch it, and we'll give you a comprehensive review of it, as well as the uses that we use and all the different ways that we do use it around the farm here. And at the end of the video, you can just stick around if you want. We'll pitch it over there as well so you can just take a look at that original, which has a lot more detail than this. But let's just hit a couple high points on this. As you can see, cosmetically, we've used it a lot out around in the grounds here, as well as in the shop, and more than once, several times in emergency lighting situations, or where we're out kind of an area and we need to illuminate an area like a dining tent or the tent before we go to bed for the night, that sort of thing. This flashlight does some cool things because of its different configurations. As a professional tool, it's going to live in a hardened environment, especially if you are a mechanic or something like this. Well, with the overmolding on it and all that, it cleans up pretty well and it feels good in the hand. It's easy to hold on to. Even when your hands get greasy or it's wet outside, it does a great job. So we give that a thumbs up. That has lived up to the expectation. The other thing is the battery charging capacity on this. This uses a standard USB port that you just plug in there using a USB cable and through one of your plug-ins. And so this gets charged up there, and the indicator light that's right there changes from yellow to green when it's fully charged. The third area is the magnets. You have a very strong magnet on the end of the unit that allows it to stand off a wall or flat on it. And we found that those magnets have not diminished at all. They still work very hard. There's no problems with them popping through or anything like that. All right, so after nearly 3 years of use, is there anything we'd like improved? Yeah, there's two things that we think could be improvements. One is the indicator lights right here. So the only thing that gives you a clue that you're getting low on power is when that drops from green to yellow and gives you a caution light and says, hey, you better watch out, but it doesn't really give you a fuel gauge that says how close you're getting and if you need to run back someplace or grab another flashlight or whatever before it goes out. So a little bit more help that way. Now, my understanding is the newer version of this actually has a fuel gauge, so it sounds like they recognized the issue and solved it on the new edition. The second thing that I think could be a real improvement is there's different lighting configurations on this. So you have a side wand that you can use to light down like that, or you can take it and stand it up and light an area, or you can hit one side or the other. Or I could light up both sides, which is great for emergency lighting. Or you can hang it for a central like food area tent or something like that to give general lighting in there, and it works pretty well. So I like that, but here's the problem that I see that should be overcome. And that is, if I am using the end, just a regular LED, there's my light, and it's a more focused light that I'm pointing at something, I can't move that end around to aim against something. Let's suppose if I had it off the end of a table and I wanted to aim that beam over there, I was working something, watch what happens when I raise that. It kicks off. You are not given the option. As soon as you start to open the wand, this end LED is no longer usable. Well, that means I can't use it off the edge of a table. I can't stick it someplace and put the beam at where I really want it. I can't put it over the edge of a table and point it up someplace that I'm working on to illuminate a ceiling area, all that. That option has been taken away from me, and you end up using the general lighting. So that's something I wish they would work on to improve as well. Now, there are, in all fairness, other options out there. At nearly $185, this is a professional tool. And if you read the comments in the early review, you're going to find this is fairly polarizing. People that use these tools for their living or professional mechanics, not only in the garage, but in the field, they tend to really love this tool. It's durable, it lasts a long time, the magnets are strong. There's more than one story of forgetting the flashlight that was stuck and finding 100 miles away, the flashlight's riding along, waiting for them to retrieve it. The side also resists rolling, so people really like that. So that's going to tend on a curved hood and that sort of thing not to roll as easy. But for $185, in all fairness, there are other options. You can certainly go up and buy knockoffs of this that have some of the same features, but the law of economics kicks in. You need to make a decision. Do you want to buy a less expensive one, replace it more often, or do you want one that's going to last years and years? As promised, here is that earlier review we did almost 3 years ago. We'll give you a lot more detail on how we use it, some of the practical ways. And while you're at it, check out this other video from our catalog that YouTube thinks is a perfect match to your interests, and we think you're going to enjoy it too. And until the next time, this is Dirt Farmer Jay from dirtfarmerjay.com.